Welcome back, viewers. Happy Mashujaa Day. It's coming this Sunday, 20th October 2024. And that is why we here at Politics Today, here on Science TV, wish you a happy Mashujaa Day. My name is Jonah Simba, and my sign language interpreter is Tobias Omondi. In the first section, I started with a song. Let me sing also here, so that I'm not accused of not singing. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, sitakuacha milele oh. Do you know that song? Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, sitakuacha milele oh. It speaks of our loyalty to our country. In the first section, I spoke especially about our cities, Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, Eldoret, and Kisumu, as hubs for a thriving middle class. Did you just hear what I said? Those are hubs for a thriving middle class. You just need to look at the state of the working people and the businessmen and women of these cities to understand the economic status of a country. By the way, cities, by nature, generate a lot of revenue for a country. Just in case you did not know that. That is why a lot of focus from us as individuals need to be put first on our human resources. Remember, you are a Shujaa. When we are talking about Mashujaa Day, I want to bring us maybe to the Ministry of Culture and Social Services. You need to go to our museums probably and look at the history of this country. You will notice that so much has been done for this country by people in the past years with very little or no resources. They actually did not have much. They literally gave out of nothing, and they managed to bring this nation to some place. I'm just thinking of many names. They are crossing my mind even as I'm talking to you. These are heroes and heroines of the past. You know, we need to create now a culture where we fight the giants of today, the very same way they fought the giants of yesterday. Is somebody out there that can write a book? Is somebody out there that can make a documentary? Is somebody out there that can sing a song? Is somebody out there that can make a poem? Is somebody out there that can be a media personality or a leader or a sports person, that can bring back the vigor, that can bring back passion for this country? Because sometimes we are de-energized so much by politics until we forget the blessings that we have in our hands. We have a nation. Look at our youth. We have a blessed youth. We have, wow, some of the best resources, human resource you can ever imagine in this continent. You just need to go around these cities and even in the counties, and you tap on the intelligence of this youth, and you will be surprised at the new frontiers of wealth creation. Are we focusing on the human resource? Are we becoming genuine on building our human resource? There is a certain cry right now, a cry for reality. That is a genuine cry. Do not take it for granted. Whether you are a leader politically, or a pastor, or a sheikh, or you're just some manager, even of a cattle dip. Maybe you're just a chairman of a cattle dip somewhere. You will realize that there is a certain push for reality. People are suddenly pushing for truth. In every county, it is happening. How much more in the cities? So, in this Mashujaa Day, let us birth the spirit of Mashujaa by each of us being passionate of our different sectors. Which sector are you in? Probably you are in the tourism sector. You need to diagnose, you need to take stock of what is happening in that sector right now. Probably you are in the finance sector. What is happening currently in this country? In the finance sector, you may be in the agriculture sector. Let me pose a question to you. If you take stock of what is happening in the agricultural state of this country, What is happening? There was a time when Jomo Kenyatta, the founder of this country, together with the likes of Mbiu Konange and the founders of this country, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, they noticed that all you need to do is to focus on agriculture. Suddenly there was booming coffee industry, there was booming tea industry. They ensured that the sugar industry picks up. We had the likes of Kikomi, Rivertex, you know, the likes of such industries just picked up. Then they noticed that the other sector they really needed to focus on, and it worked like magic, was the education sector. Suddenly there was a seriousness. We had the likes of Alliance Highs coming up, Mangu High Schools. You know, we had very big, very major schools coming up because there was a sudden focus on proper education, because they were fighting ignorance. When they talked about poverty, they noticed that when we have good agriculture, we will suddenly have food. This was genuine. Then they noticed that for ignorance, they needed to ensure that we have good education. Teachers were properly trained, and we had passion in schools. We had a lot of, you know, when people would go to school, you would see a lot of passion because they were deliberate. That is how they came up with hospitals, because they were fighting sicknesses, you know, they were fighting disease, and they were genuine about it. Let me pause here and ask. I'm asking all the Mashujaas that are watching me today, because we are all Kenyans and we are all Shujaas in 2024, because we are alive and living well in Kenya. You know, are you genuine about changing the state of this country? Let me ask that question again. You need to evaluate yourself as an individual this Mashujaa Day. It is sad when I move around sometimes and I see despair with my inner eyes. I may not see it with my physical eyes, but sometimes when I talk to the youth of this country, I could see despair. Some of them have butterflies for the future. They don't understand where future, what holds for them for the future. Some of them, when they see demonstrations and when they see a lack of genuine leadership, they start feeling like their future has been battered. They feel like their future is shattered. On this very Mashujaa Day, may we come back to sense, that great sense of originality, that genuine care for our country. It is so sad sometimes when you attend functions and then you see the young people there and the children hoping to hear good things from leaderships. And what happens? They hear quarrels and angers and a lot of fighting. And sometimes it is not just with word of mouth. Sometimes it even goes to stone throwing. Sometimes it goes to all manner of tear gas and all that kind of thing. I can't forget once or twice when I had to run with children. You know, being a person with disability, I found myself in some chaotic state sometimes in these demonstrations. And I bump into young people, sometimes even children. You find even tear gas in occasions, functions, people going maybe to a funeral. And then there's tear gassing because politicians have spoken things that are not agreeing well with the people there. Then suddenly there is acrimony at that function, and then the children are tear gassed, and some of them even hit with stones. And then they start sitting and wondering, where are we headed to as a country? On this Mashujaa Day, allow me to sell hope to you. Yes, Kenya is a nation under God. And yes, we are headed somewhere. One thing I know, the genius of men may form an aeroplane. They may make a Concorde. They may make a chopper, a helicopter. And inside that helicopter, they may say, this helicopter is going to fly from Nairobi to Naivasha. Despite the storms in the air, this helicopter will make it and it will land. Kenya must land where it is meant to go. Sometimes I hear leaders talking about taking this country to Canaan. Let me tell you something. God, the nation being a nation under God, has already made this nation to have a destiny. It will land where it's supposed to land. This is a moment of truth. May we take stock of our hearts right now. There is a sudden burst for yearning for truth because of so much information. A lot of media platforms right now discussing issues that touch on this country. My question to you is, what is it that you do with this so much information? Let's just start from a simple place like climate. When you take a flight from one city to the other, or a road trip, or even just a walk, or a drive, what do you see? Does it hit you that you need to do something fast about the physical feature of a country? When you see the way people handle the resources of a city, it tells you how they value that city. Take a trip down Thika Road. Look at the amenities on that road. Are they broken? Are they vandalized? Is there care? Can you see care for one another? Look at how we treat each other, even when we are given positions of leadership. How do we treat each other? Is corruption thriving? Are we becoming a greedy country where we are hurting each other by amassing so much for ourselves at the pain of the other? Do we have strife suddenly creeping in our politics? Are we having unnecessary competition? It is unnecessary because when we start competing positively, we compete in terms of growing our businesses, growing our sectors. May we have a situation where probably the Ministry of Agriculture is competing with the Ministry of Finance to be the best ministry. That is positive competition. But let's not have a competition of this tribe wanting to be in leadership more than the other tribe. That is negative, unnecessary strife. Those are the kind of things we need to take stock of this Mashujaa Day. We are not an unwise country. Let me put it plainly. We are a wise nation. We are endowed with wisdom by the God that formed this country. May we take ourselves back to where the founding fathers started by dreaming together, when they had very little resources and they gave their own sweat and blood, when they gave their lives to birth this country. Oh, how I love this nation, how I love Nairobi. That is why I am loyal to this nation. How I love Mombasa and Nakuru and Eldoret and Kisumu. How I pray that one day I will take a trip to Mandera and to Turkana and Lodwar. May I be endowed with resources enough to be a domestic tourist, to tour this country and enjoy the blessings of God for this nation. You know, the blessings of God, I've said, make rich and add no sorrow. Sometimes the things that we are joking with become evil and they make us not enjoy the resources of this country. Imagine this Mashujaa Day, just going to Lake Naivasha. Rather than going into politics and throwing stones at each other, you go and enjoy the pink flamingos. Oh, how I wish I could see colors. You people, you don't know what you miss. When you go down to Lake Magadi and some of the lakes of this country, Lake Turkana, Mount Kenya, if you could look at that mountain and not look at it from the angle of politics, but look at it from the beauty angle, the resources that can come out of Mount Kenya. There are elephants there. There is indigenous trees there. There are birds that need to be explored. I need to take a mountain hike to Mount Kenya. Look at some of these mountains, Mount Elgon. You know, these are resources that God has endowed us with. How beautiful the Aberdare Ranges are. How wonderful God has given us some of these things. By the way, just in case you didn't know, some of the most beautiful sites in the world are found in this country. Go to the Guinness Book of Records. You will be shocked. It is down here in Naivasha. There is one of the best sites in the world. Imagine, we have it here, a place where we can just take a road trip to. Why not set up businesses for tourism around there? I'm calling us back to reason this Mashujaa Day. This is a day to bring back joy to our children, that they may sing the songs of patriotism. when they are in school. Some of these noises we hear from our children, let it not be chaotic noises, but let it be noises of joy. Let us not hear that they have died because of fires in school. How I send my condolences to the parents and people that lost their children at Hillside and Arusha, and some of the schools that faced fires, and some of the children that died unnecessarily in schools. It is time for us to focus on our education sector. Bring back joy to our schools. This is the future of this country we are handling. How are we dealing with our sick in hospital? It is just enough that they are sick. Can we provide hope to them? Let us motivate our doctors, because they are the ones that are the Mashujaas this year, dealing with the sick of this country. They sell hope to the sick. Did you hear the saying in Swahili, ganga ganga ya mganga humjaza mgonjwa na matumaini? This Mashujaa Day, when we have a motivated medical sector, we have a hopeful sick clientele. These people may just get well because the doctors that come to handle them are already motivated. Let us motivate these doctors. I plead with leaders. I plead with us as wananchi. Let us all be Mashujaa to motivate them that handle us. The leaders that handle us. It is two-way traffic. As they lead us, let us also motivate them. Because as they lead us, we are providing them with what they need to do for us. Nothing for us without us. That is what we say in the world of disability. You can't do so much for us without involving us. In the same manner, what is the state of our public participation, civic engagement, and civic education? What is the state of our public participation? These are the things that we need. We need civic education amongst ourselves so that we enlighten each other. Did you know that laws that we form are supposed to just help us be a happy country? So sometimes we need to enlighten each other with policies that we have formed ourselves. This is what we want for the water sector. Do we have enough water? Do we have proper dams? Do we have enough things being done in the water sector? What are we doing? Do we have people that are thirsty in the cities? Do we have dry taps? What are we doing to have pure, clean water? It is so unfair for us to form laws for ourselves, and then ourselves, we fail ourselves. We are doing ourselves the injustice. Let us be the Mashujaa. We need clean water. We need sustainable livelihoods. We need food security. Just imagine, we are the ones handling each other in terms of food. What is the state of our food security? Do we have enough food stored for tomorrow? When we have rains, who is in charge of filling our stores? Who is in charge? Does he know that we need to have enough food when the dry times come? When floods strike, do we have enough care for each other? What is the state of how we handle each other when we have a crisis? When we have a crisis in our country, we need to tread with care with each other. Whenever we have a political crisis, we need to take ourselves back to the state of our founding father. Right now, we have a political crisis. It goes without saying. We have a political crisis. Our deputy president is being faced by an impending impeachment. There is lack of chemistry between our executive, our legislature, even our judiciary. We don't have that kind of chemistry that is necessary to guide our nation forward. Where is our chemistry? For us to be one, you need to be loyal to this country like me, to be in this nation, from January to December, to understand how badly you need peace for this country. We need the judiciary and the legislature and the executive to be in proper chemistry, to work together, not for themselves, not so that they enrich themselves unfairly, but so that all of us can have proper health care. When somebody is pregnant and they need to go and deliver, are they facing butterflies in their stomach? Because they don't know how they will deliver. They don't know the state of the Linda Mama. They don't know about the state of NHIF, whether it is SHA. They don't know whether it is a shift. What hits your mind, you Mashujaa, this Mashujaa Day, when you see chronic illness patients, citizens of this country, crying on the screens of this nation? Does it touch your emotions as a citizen of this country? What can you do to lessen the burden of pain? If you knew the trailers and the loads of the painkillers we take as a country, we need to go back to the drawing board and lessen the pain. We are taking so much painkillers. We are trying to reduce the symptoms, but we are not addressing the real problem. We need to go to the roots of the real problem, so that we reduce the pain, so that we don't just go for painkillers. Let us not bury our heads in the sand. Let us be genuine with each other. Genuine citizenship. Let us carry each other burdens properly. Whatever tribe you are, it is a blessing for the nation. Whatever business you are, it is a blessing for the nation. Whether you come from the lake or from the mountain, that lake is a physical feature. It is a blessing. It is a tourism blessing for this country. Whether you come from the mountain, that is a tourism blessing. It is a blessing for this country. It is part of the ecosystem. Whether you're coming from the cities, even if you're coming from the arid or the semi-arid areas, you have things to offer there. You just need to go down to Magadi. See, we have that Magadi Soda Company producing salt and glass. You know, we have factories that are set up in some of these desert areas. This Mashujaa Day, as I wind up, every part, every sector, sports sector, education sector, health sector, agricultural sector, mining sector, whatever sector, cooperatives, even the religious sector, whatever sector you are, I congratulate you for holding on to this very day, because it has not been easy for Kenyans. Kenyans have been through a lot. They have taken so much painkillers up to this 20th of October 2024. But I believe one thing: since we are a nation under God, God is going to bless us. He's going to ensure that we enjoy whatever He has given us. Again, I say, Happy Mashujaa Day. And I wind up with this song. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu we, sitakuacha milele o. I thank you all for being part and parcel of this country, never giving up on this nation, never saying die for this country. This is a nation that is blessed by God. Happy Mashujaa Day. My name is Jonah Simba. Bye-bye.